Welcome to what we're going to call the Scrum Table, our virtual roundtable, a diverse group of rugby fans, avid and new rookie fans. So before we start, we're gonna talk about a host of things from big picture, some insights and perspectives from the actual tournament itself, and then we'll kind of dive into the heart of and where our excitement is building is to Saturday, September 27th, the battle of the establishment versus the emerging, the icons versus this moment, England, the Lioness versus Canada. Um, but for now, if, we're going to go around just the table and just quickly introduce yourself, and just a quick one-line bio about yourself and your role on the team. And so we'll quickly go around. I'm going to start with Cassette because I'm looking right at him. If you could just kick it off, and then we'll go around the horn.
Thank you, Mindy. Pretty excited to be with you. So thank you. And talk rugby with everyone else. So my name is Cassette. Been pretty much involved in the sport all my life, and I love it, love it. And I've enjoyed this year's Rugby World Cup, Women's World Cup, and cannot wait for Saturday. Cannot wait.
My name is Remy. I'm a new rugby fan. I went to the Women's World Cup this year for the first time, which is really exciting.
Which game?
And I saw the England USA game, which was a little disheartening as an American, but I think to be expected a little bit, right? And then
Yeah.
and then I caught some other good ones. I actually don't think I got to see Canada play, unfortunately, but um, Ireland, Japan was a good one. So
Yeah.
some teams that are no longer with us, unfortunately.
My name is Bradley. I am pretty much been in rugby since I've been forced into it since I was young. I love the sport. It's amazing. It brings people together, and I'm excited to talk about the women's game as it comes up, the final, just to see how it ends. Although we all know how it's going to end, but yeah.
Oh,
No, we
wow.
don't.
Know how it's
Yes,
gonna
we do.
end, Bradley.
Wow.
Bradley. All right.
Wow.
Spicy.
We can't
Shots.
wait for your predictions. We'll hold
Oh
you to that.
yeah.
And David?
Hey, David. I'm pretty new to the sport, but super excited that we get to cover it and talk about the players this week, about the teams. Just for everyone, just so everyone knows, I won last week. My team actually got the most points. Not saying that makes me better, but
Wow, David. Like, I mean,
Bragging rights
this
are
this
accepted.
was the call to just like let that slide. But
We all
man,
know that you rigged the game. We saw you on Slack
yeah,
messaging
yeah.
me for
Well,
years, but
Well, I have to say, Ellie Kildon really sort of took it took it home for my team last week. But yeah, just looking forward to talking about this amazing tournament, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
great. And Matthew.
Yes, I'm Matthew. I help out. I'm pretty new to Scrummy, pretty new to the sport of rugby. But one of the things that has been really cool to see is how, when in this Women's World Cup, this is the first proper rugby tournament I've watched, how disciplined and how hardworking a lot of these athletes are, and how supportive the fan base is. So I'm excited to keep watching.
Great. And excited too. I'm Mindy Spire. I consider myself a former athlete, an advocate, and someone who's looking to grow commercially, not just women in sports, but youth, men's. Definitely a rookie here, in rugby. Although I will tell you, and anyone can write me offline, that my collegiate rugby experience at the University of Pennsylvania lasted exactly one day on the women's rugby team. And so you will have to write me to find out why my career at Penn, or excuse me, my rugby career was one day. Um, before we start, those watching, just a reminder that this is the last day, or sorry, our last week of the Scrum 6 final, our fantasy challenge, where you can, like David just did, you can gloat in your global bragging rights and play with us on our fantasy game. It does close Saturday at 12:01 a.m. Eastern time. So get your team together now. I think I'll start off before we dive into more of like a holistic perspective of the tournament itself, and then we'll dive in and really talk about what we can look forward to from a data perspective, what Scrummy does so well with their analytics, and then and the heart too is also in the heart and soul in terms of what's going to happen this weekend. But I just wanted to share that, I heard Matthew and Remy and myself, we're kind of newbies to the sport, which is exactly what World Rugby is about, right? It's inclusive, as Matthew pointed out. As a new fan, I showed up for curiosity and the appreciation of the energy, the skill, and the sense of the sport. I will say that anytime you have games of consequence, you have rivalries, and you've got star power, it is the perfect recipe. And this tournament had it all every single game. So instead of just looking forward, let's just take a few minutes to look back at some of those highlights that led us to where we are, to England and Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the big dudes, played in the front row. So obviously I'm kind of biased to the forwards, and for me, obviously there's exciting players like Walker, um, Ellie, all those guys, but Hannah Bottomman from England for me
Yeah.
has been a standout. So, she's been bullying people left, right, and center since the whole tournament started, and she has not stopped performing. So you definitely not know who's the first pick on my team this weekend, because she's definitely going to be on fire, and I just really love her attitude, man. She's always got great energy. She is just ready to score a pushover try and just show how strong she is. So just really enjoyed her play. A couple others as well. What's her name? From Canada.
Sophie de
The
Goad.
second row.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
For me, I think she's the MVP of the tournament. Like, I feel like she would dominate in a men's game. Obviously, there's um, physical considerations there, but take those aside, I think she's just been playing at a high level. She kicks for goal too. She's like so versatile. Yeah, so those two have super impressed me. So looking forward to what they do on Saturday.
I mean, when do you ever see a lock? She's a lock, right? Kick for goal.
Yeah.
That is
So in the men's game, a second row kicking internationally. Last time I saw that was in '99. John, what's his name? John Hill, the former captain of Australia, 6'6", 6'7" guy, used to kick for goal, and yeah, hasn't happened since. So just to see her doing that was just super magical for me. Yeah, rate her highly.
Awesome. Bradley, what about for you?
Yeah, well, he kind of took my people. He literally stole the words out of my mouth,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
insane. But then yeah, I do agree. These three women did the best in the tournament. They're amazing. I'm still on Sophie. She really took it on. If it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have really won against New Zealand. And because of her, they they ran through. So I cannot wait to see what happens in the final.
her her stats are unbelievable. I'm actually looking at them right now. She's got 22 dominant carries. She's 61 passes completed. Post-contact meter, she's almost 200. I mean, she's got 68 tackles. She's
Yeah.
kicking. She's a lock. I mean, I don't know if there's a more versatile player in the tournament. Like, she just can't be pigeonholed. There's nothing she can't do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just it's
Special.
super impressive. And then, I was thinking about one of the other players on New Zealand who's the 18-year-old. I'm forgetting her name right now.
Is
Uh,
it
Braxton Sorensen McGee.
oh my God, 18 years old. I mean, the future's pretty bright for her. She
Yeah.
was super fun to watch. Um, and I think we should have to give a shout out to Alona Mayer. But yeah, when push comes to shove, actually, I think the best player in the tournament is Ellie Kildon. I mean, she's just dominant. And she's so much fun. I think they're gonna like make her a knight if they win.
Yeah,
Do that? Can they make her a knight?
They
they
should.
can.
They should.
They can definitely. Or is it I guess is it a knight or is it a I mean, is there
Like,
something for the woman that traditionally like a madam or a dame?
They can make her like a
yeah, I think you can get like a dame thing, dame someone.
Like
So
Dame Judi Dench. We have Dame, So
Dame
yes, I mean,
Mindy.
listen, I'm all
Dame
listen.
Mindy.
She could go out in the battlefield anytime and be a knight. But yeah. And Remy, fine. Anything that stood out for you?
I mean, all the good picks were stolen, I think. The two that really stood out to me this tournament were Sophie and Braxton.
Yeah.
I think you got to look at with Braxton. This girl is 18 years old, easily the breakout star of the tournament, but she also has the most, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she has the most points, tries, and clean breaks of the tournament. She's only 18, along with 84 runs and 80 conversions, 11 offloads. I mean, this 18 years old, like she's younger than me. Doesn't really even make sense for someone this young to be putting on performances like this. But yeah, so I saw her as neck and neck with Sophie. And I mean, I think you can maybe give the edge to Sophie just because Canada had that crazy upset last week against New Zealand, who I don't think has lost in the semifinal in like 30 or 40 years or something like that. So,
wow, that
yeah,
long.
tip of the
Wow.
cap to them. Yeah, I think it's since like 91 or something. Um, but yeah, I think those are both great picks for sure. I mean, you can't go wrong.
From a fan and trying to get into it, what I really found valuable is every week we had the Scrummy Power Five. And
Yeah.
so you kind of look to the Scrummy Power Five, and Scrummy just launched its new newsletters. So that's another great way if you just not sure you want to play fantasy, download the app, get on the newsletter, get the real-time notifications, fixture schedules, scores. Like these are the starters. I think let's switch gears. We wanted to quickly acknowledge some of the stars and highlights of the tournament. But let's look forward, right? Everything's in the rear view mirror. We're all about moving forward. So, what should we look out for this weekend? What's your prediction? What's Scrummy's prediction based on the data? Quote your prediction versus Scrummy's prediction, please, so we can sort of source accordingly on what we're looking forward to this weekend. What happens, and also what happens if England wins? What happens if England loses? Would love to kind of get any perspective. So two-part question. Bradley, we're gonna go with you. Sorry, we're gonna go with you, Bradley. Why don't you kick both those questions off for us?
All right, to start off now, I'm someone who likes using data to make a prediction. So just to start off, these guys have met for 37 test caps in their entire history. England has won 33 games against Canada. Canada has only won three, and they've only had one draw. That alone should tell you that England has this in the bag. I mean, it sort of just makes it a little bit harder for Canada, talking from the data perspective. But looking at how they've played this tournament, Canada has really surprised everyone, especially against New Zealand. It was a shocker. They really showed up. They really pushed through the entire tournament, and I think we can even call them the rise in MVPs of this tournament. It was unexpected. Everyone thought that New Zealand and England were going to meet up. It's gonna be the same thing, but they did well. And from that perspective, I'm still betting on England winning, but I also want Canada to surprise me. So I cannot wait to see what
Why
happens.
do we have this data guys on the call though? Because that's cheating. But
Hey, it's not
whatever.
cheating. It's data.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the team that I picked for this week. It's like my front row and second row are all Canadians, and then as soon as you get to the back row, and to my backs, I've got the English players. I don't know. I mean, honestly, England should run away with this, but if Canada can kind of, I mean, not to sound cliche, but if they can keep it close in the first half and sort of let the pressure build, because that stadium is going to be, it's 82,000 people. It's completely sold out. It's going to be a huge, obviously, England's going to have a giant home field advantage with that kind of crowd. But if Canada can stay close and the pressure builds, but this England team, they just seem like they're on a mission. Even the way, like, from the start of this tournament, like, they were loose, but they were focused. They've played with like passion and creativity. I don't see any way that Canada can win this, honestly. I just don't. And I think Ellie Kildon is the best player in the tournament when she might not be the best player throughout the tournament. I know they've rested her a lot, but I think she's going to show up and she's going to put on a show on Saturday.
Well, I'm not as low. I'm not quite as low on Canada as David is. I think there is a way that Canada wins. And it's because I saw it this past weekend when they were facing up against New Zealand. When New Zealand was a lot of people, including myself, expected New Zealand to win. But they came out early. They came out hard. They came out really spreading the pace. Here's the thing about this matchup. Canada is losing points, tackles, every major team statistic to England except runs. Canada is dominating England in runs. And how they came out in that New Zealand game is they spread the ball around really quickly. They got it to the outside. They pummeled New Zealand with pace, hard and early, and they took a really quick lead. So that's how they're going to win this. They're going to win with pace. They're going to win with getting it to the outside really quickly.
Pummeled with pace. Pummeled with pace. I like that. It's like a pummeled with pace. We should trademark that. We should do something with it.
Right now, let's get on that. Let's move.
Yeah.
That's a good. I like that.
You definitely hear a lot now. Remy, any thoughts?
There's
I mean,
definitely
Matthew-
a brain underneath all that hair.
No, trust me, because
Some
there's
say.
not. There's not.
There is.
But
I believe in you, Remy. I believe in you.
I think Matthew said it pretty well. I think England, I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record here for the group, but the stats definitely support England. I mean, they haven't given up double digits except in their last semifinal game against France. They didn't let any team in the group stage or quarterfinal score double digits on them. I think their key to victory really is just keeping the forward pressure. They have to minimize error because I think that's where Canada really capitalizes, relying on the back line, counterattacking opportunities. And I see this really, honestly, I think this final is a win-win for global women's rugby. Regardless of the outcome, it'll be huge. There'll be a stadium of 80,000 people. And I think it'll be celebrated regardless. But I do think England winning is probably the bigger property globally at least. So I think that would be the best outcome for women's rugby as a whole, but also Canada's a newer market, a newer team, and that could have likewise positive effects. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
What, Remy, are you a millennial? Are you considered a millennial?
Oh,
No,
no,
Gen
come
Z.
on, dude. I'm not
What
that
are you,
old.
what generation are you? What is that?
I think I'm Gen Z still.
Gen Z. It's such a
Millennial
Gen
is like
Z-
the people living with their parents in their 30s, I think.
Wow.
I love Remy's. It's such a jet. Like, if everybody's going to be a winner with the if England loses, that country is going to lose their minds. They are going to
Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
lose their
Yeah,
minds.
and the rest of the world will celebrate.
Right.
David, you actually. So I was gonna push back a little bit on that, Remy, in the sense that for the game, it's better if Canada wins it. That's how I
Really?
look at it. Because
Really?
you get a new winner.
Mm-hmm.
It shows progression. England have dominated this sport for, I don't know, a decade or more,
We,
right? They're always the front runner and the favorite at every World Cup,
You're always
right?
expected to win.
Always expected
They're
to win.
expected to win.
So the good thing for the game will be for Canada, this team that crowdsourced their money to get to the World Cup. What a beautiful story, right? Vests a team that's got, I don't know, in excess of 50 million pounds a year in budget or whatever. So fully professional. So it'll be a great story. Having said that, Mitch is a dear friend of mine, and England are at home, so I want them to win. You know, it'll be so going to Mindy's second question there. What happens if England loses? Mayhem, chaos in England, in the
You
UK.
think so?
Yeah, because they're the runaway favorites, and they're hosting this World Cup. It's sold out. First time they've sold out multiple women's games, and England has done well to host this. They have a great coach, great team. If they lose, oh my gosh, I don't want to think about it. So I'm kind of torn. Obviously, I want England to win. I want my boy to have his chip. But what's good for the game? Possibly Canada winning it. Having said that, who's going to win? England are going to win. I'm so glad Matthew sort of touched on how Canada played. Canada were rapid against New Zealand. I've never seen a team play that fast. Just recycle the ball maybe under 1 second, and they just beat New Zealand. They just kept coming. They were ferocious
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the breakdown, and they just didn't allow New Zealand to breathe. And that's what they've got to do against England. England has great forwards, great backline players. They're great at unstructured play and transition rugby. They're very good at that. Obviously, the number one, the chief culprit there is Ellie. She'll kill you if you kick something that's not a great kick to her. She'll kill you on counterattack. So Canada just needs to watch for that. If they can repel, like David said, if they can repel the first 30, 40 minutes and absorb, I think they have a shot. If they're within a score or two at 60 minutes in the final quarter, I think they can surprise people. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
We've got the Women's World Cup finals. It'll be really exciting to see what happens next and the momentum that happens globally with the sport. Domestically here, I'm calling from the US. What, from a rugby perspective, a rugby fan perspective, what's next? What should we tune into next?
Obviously, the URC is going to be starting this weekend. That's going to be
Go
super fun.
Sharks! Go
Go
Sharks!
Sharks!
oh,
Go Sharks! Go Sharks! And those games are so much fun to watch, and the quality of the athletes and the pace of the games. It's brilliant to watch, and so that's what we'll be tuning into. And then obviously there's also some international test matches and friendlies that are going to be going on over the
Yeah.
next 3 to 6 months that are definitely worth watching as teams kind of gear up. And then going into uh, and then we have, in the spring we'll have MLR back, and that'll be exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a ton to look forward to. The good thing about rugby is there's always fun stuff going on. Sometimes it can be really disjointed, and then obviously for Scrummy too, we've got school rugby that's going to be coming in. So
So download the app. You have
Yeah.
all your fixtures right there. We're all going to have to tune in because there's a lot of excitement that's going to happen this weekend.